Why does she reject you but still shows interest by Coach Kyle Raw? Now, Coach Kyle, if you don't know him, he makes all types of videos on dating, getting women. I think he does some fitness, self improvement stuff as well. But we're going to get into this because I think it's a good topic that I struggled with before I got in a relationship when I was out there dating. I struggled a lot with, you know, you find a girl, she's all for you 1 minute, then the next second it's like she doesn't even know you or want you to even exist. So I want to break this down from what I've learned, and I want to hear his experiences, and maybe you guys can take our two experiences and apply it to your own situations. But yeah, let's jump into it. Road to 10K.
When she rejects you, but she still acts interested. Now, you've probably been in a similar situation one way or another where you had a woman that you were talking to and she was showing you some level of interest, right? You either got a phone number on a night out, you got her Instagram somehow, maybe you even went on a date with her or multiple dates with her, you guys were texting. At some point she was showing you interest, and then at some point she just rejects you, okay?
And I want to make something clear. If a girl gives you her phone number or her Instagram, don't assume that she is interested in you unless she offers it to you without you asking. Like, if a girl comes up to you, starts a conversation, she approaches you, she gives you her info, okay, then yes. But if you approach her, some girls will just give you their number or Instagram just to get you to leave them alone or out of fear. You know what I'm saying? So don't automatically assume that.
Okay, that could be maybe you got her Instagram and then you were texting her to actually set up a date, and then like when it came down to that final message of actually asking her out, she just stopped responding. Or you guys went on a date and then she sent you a message afterwards saying, hey, you're a really great guy, but I don't see this going anywhere romantically. Or maybe you went on multiple dates, or she ghosted you at some point. Like, one way or another, you had a girl that was showing you interest, and then at some point it just stops and she rejects you, and then she's still kind of showing interest. Right? She's viewing your IG story. She's that first girl that views the thing. Like you post and then you check the viewers like a minute later.
A lot of times when you find a girl that will still watch your stories and engage with your social medias and things after she's rejected you, normally that's a girl who just either A, she has a boyfriend, or B, she has somebody normally that she's just interested a little bit more in you, but she still wants to keep you around just in case. And this isn't me like just dissing women. This is just normally how it goes. Like, if a woman is still showing you some attention, it's for a reason. She wants to keep you around for whatever her motive may be.
And she's like at the top of the thing, and maybe she even likes your pictures, right? Or you see her out and she like gives you eye contact. It could be like the in-person equivalent of that. I've been in this situation multiple times, okay? Because I was the guy that went on dates and I didn't know how to flirt. I didn't know how to escalate. I didn't know how to create attraction with women. And I would get ghosted. I would get ghosted one way or another. On the earlier part of my journey, I wasn't even getting dates. So I would just get Instagrams from girls because I thought that they were into me initially. I would ask for a phone number and they would be like, yeah, take my Instagram. Or I was even too afraid to ask for a phone number, so I would just get Instagrams. And I would text these girls and we would be DMing, and then they would engage a little bit, and then when it comes time to actually ask them out in the DM, then they would just leave me on red at that point and it just wouldn't ever go anywhere.
And see, that's the thing though. I would say, unless you have a big Instagram following or a decently large following, don't ask chicks for their Instagram, bro. And I hate to use the word chicks. That sounds weird. Don't ask girls for their Instagram. Focus on the number, because you're putting yourself in a way bigger competition pool also getting the Instagram. Because if you get the number, there's a lot less traffic and congestion on Instagram. She could have 100 requests or however many requests. There could be a bunch of guys, but the number is always more intimate. And if she really likes you, she'll give you her number. She won't hit you with I don't give out my number, because that's just for guys she's not that into.
Anywhere. But then a little bit later on in my journey, it went from just getting the IGs to actually going on dates or having like a fun night out with them where maybe we even like kissed a little bit even. And then at some point they just stop responding, or they ghost, or they friend zone, and they just kind of lose interest. I've been both guys. I'm 35 years old now, but I started this stuff when I was like 24, 25. So it's been over 10 years of doing this and coaching 1,000+ men through this process. And as I'm saying this, guys, like, if you want to know more about my journey, the clients I've helped, my coaching program, like if you want to make a true transformation to achieve social confidence and have that abundant dating life you really want, the link is down below. There's an in-depth training. I talk about my journey, my clients, my program details. I'd love to help you make a true transformation with this stuff. So click that link. Be sure to watch that down below.
I'll go rock with Coach Kyle for real, for real.
But as I went through this progression, I always noticed that one way or another, there would be women that would still kind of show interest, or so I thought. And I think that's where most men go wrong with this. You think that because she's watching your IG story that she's interested. You think that because she's at the gym and maybe she looks at you or some shit, she's interested. That's not interest. With a girl that you've been talking to that you already tried to go on a date with, that is not interest. You already displayed interest of this level. So we know where the interaction is at this point, because maybe you already went on dates or you already talked about the idea of dates. So once you've put that out there, anything less than her acknowledging that and trying to keep conversation going around those things is significantly lower than that point, okay? So just because she watches your story doesn't mean shit. I think guys think that and they're like, oh my God, but she's still watching my story. So like, how do I get her on a date? No, you get it? Like, yeah, she was watching your stories and then she hung out with you. And for whatever reason, like what you displayed, the way you ran the interaction, the emotions that she felt around you, your behaviors, your lifestyle, your Instagram, your communication, everything was simply not that attractive to her. Well, it's all about looks. Your look plays a part in it, bro. Is that the only thing? Fuck.
A lot of guys got to understand that we are different than women. Men, we see a baddie with a fatty, we're ready to risk it all. With women, if they see an attractive man, in a lot of cases, they're looking for ways to disqualify that man, especially if you are overly good looking to them. They're looking for a way to disqualify you. So they want everything on point. Women look at the whole package, where men, we just look at the outside. You know, we look at the exterior. Women most women kind of look at everything. Kind of.
No, because she went on a date with you. Most of these interactions, she actually was talking to you for an extended period of time. So, like, guys go on a date with a girl and it didn't work and they think it's because of their look. It's like, no, your look and your vibe and your presentation is what got you to the date. The way you ran the date is what prevented you from getting a further date.
Exactly.
Okay? So is it a little bit of look? Yeah, for sure. But that is not what I'm talking about here. It's a misconception that just because she's watching your story or giving you a little bit of attention, that she's down to go on a date and now you need to do something differently. Not realizing that she'll watch your IG. She may even entertain a little bit of conversation if she's bored, right? But she's not reaching out. She's not asking you what you're doing over the weekend. She's not responding to you, inviting her out. Okay, so that is not interest.
It is 100% true. Like maybe a year ago, I was talking to this girl that I went to high school with, because I met her through my friend group, because they all grew up with her. I didn't know her that well. We didn't really have classes together. We went to the same high school though, and I think middle school maybe. But anyway, you know, whenever we basically would go to her job, and she was our waitress. She would give us like free drinks and things like that. And like, she would really just like kind of flirt with me a little bit. Like, you know, she would unnecessarily touch me and she would compliment me and like just random little things like that she wouldn't do to my friends. And I was like, okay, cool. So she was a pretty attractive girl. I shot my shot with her. We were supposed to go on a date. I asked her out 2 times, I think. And after 2 times, I'm done. So after the second time, like she flaked again, I basically just like put her on ice. And she would respond to my stories. She would watch my stories. She saw me in the club one time and she was like introducing me to her friend and she was hugging on me and all this other stuff. And here's the thing. If she was truly interested, I know it may seem like it, but if she was truly interested, she wouldn't have flaked on 2 dates, especially not trying to reschedule or ask me out. Like she had ample amount of time to ask me out. Some girls, they just do like the attention. That's the unfortunate truth.
Right? She rejected you, okay? She rejected you. So my advice is at that point, you need to let it breathe. I'm not saying you need to block her, But I would actually stop reaching out, because if you actually already went that far, especially if you already went on a date and then she stops responding at that point, like, you can send another message, but once you've taken those steps, maybe you asked her out on IGDM or you guys went on a date, and now we're at that breaking point where she stops responding. Understand, bro, you gotta let it chill at that point. And she either comes back around or she doesn't. And by the way, her coming back around is not her watching your story. Her coming back around is she comments and re-engages in a conversation, okay? Or if it's really, well, what if you're thinking, well, Kyle, like, what if I want to message again? If you already went on a date and she already stopped, or you already tried to go on a date and she didn't respond,
leave it.
you could give it a little bit of time and send another message, but like, don't keep doing this shit, man. At some point, especially if you already went on the date, she's either about it or she's not at that point.
And this is facts, because every girl that I've ever went on a date with that it went somewhere, I didn't have to do too much. Like the second date, sometimes they'll even set up the second date. Or whenever you ask them, they make themselves so easily available to you. Like it's nothing. So just understand, if you're having to work hard to get a woman on a date, she's just not into you. I'm just going to be honest. A lot of guys think like, oh, persistence. Persistent is for the guys that she don't really like. And that's why I tell you guys to work on yourselves. If you're a guy where you're working on your appearance, you're working on your money, you're working on your confidence, your spirituality, your goals, your purpose, you're working on everything as a man, like that's your best shot. I'm not saying if you work on all this, you're going to get the best girl in the world. No. But that is your best shot in attracting the quality of women you want. You have to be equivalent as a man. You know what I'm saying? Honestly, you have to be better in most cases.
Because she's experienced you. She's experienced you at that point, man. So just because she's watching the story, that doesn't mean anything.
At all.
Give it time to breathe, and you keep leveling up as a man. You keep demonstrating that you're growing, that you're getting more attractive, that you're becoming more confident, that your lifestyle is, and your living situation is increasing, that your financial situation is increasing. You don't need to directly promote that one. But all of these things are subtly communicated through Instagram, which is not a bad thing, because she's watching your stories, right? So unfortunately for her, she's gonna have to now sit back and watch the glow up, the epic rise, okay? And you can use those rejections as fuel. I've gone through a lot of painful rejections, failures with women, where I was really excited about a certain girl. Maybe I even went on a date with her. Maybe I even ended up getting intimate with her and then got rejected, right? And then they even texted a little bit, and I never saw these women again, right? All of that fuel and rage and frustration and confusion around all of those things.
I'm gonna cut to my part of the video where I just give my thoughts, because we basically have the gist. A story time that I want to give you guys is one of my exes, right? And this is a perfect example of what he's saying. Okay. One of my exes, right? We broke up. She was doing her thing. I was still stuck on her, right? So I was doing everything I could to get her back. She was showing a little bit of interest, X, Y, Z. And, you know, she would never, like, she might conversate with me a little bit, but she would never, like, try to get back together or try to come see me or I go see her. Like, she was never trying to link or, like, try to repair things. I started going to the gym. I lost weight. I started taking better care of my skin. I found a haircut that works for me. I built a better physique. I started making more money. I moved into a new place. I started traveling. I started doing all these things. One night, randomly at 2 a.m., she hits me up trying to talk, trying to link, trying to pick something up that she forgot from years ago. Years have went by, and we barely have spoken, but nothing happened. She never came back until she saw me improving. That is exactly why I tell you guys, if you improve, you will always gain more than you lose. Because, and I've dealt with that from different women who've rejected me at certain points, especially growing up in school, because in school, I was not attractive at all. I was not viewed as an attractive guy whatsoever. So now that women find me more attractive than they did then, like I said, I'm never going to sit here and pretend like I'm the best looking guy in the world, but I've come a long way. So now that I am in the position I'm in, a lot of girls spin back from high school. A lot of girls spin back that I used to date that, you know, they see me now. They're like, oh, wow, he looks different. He acts different. His life's different. So, guys, if you're dealing with a woman who's rejecting you, let that woman go. Don't focus on her. Focus on building yourself up to be the best man you can be. And along the way, focus on the women that appreciate that. A lot of guys think you have to cut off all women while you're doing self-improvement. I suggest you be with women during self-improvement because it's going to teach you a lot about women during the stages of your development. Because if you go from not getting women to cutting off women and then working on yourself, you get women, you're still going to struggle socially, and you're not going to see progress in your dating life. Because you can be the most attractive guy, the most rich guy, the most ripped guy. If you don't have any social skills or emotional intelligence, you're going to struggle with women. But yeah, guys, just know if she is rejecting you, but she's still engaging with you and putting herself around you, don't think that she wants you, bro, because in a lot of cases she doesn't. She just really enjoys the attention, or she's trying to keep you around for a certain reason. But yeah, guys, let it breathe, focus on you, and focus on the women that like you. That's it.